Before there was a National Park Service, the men protecting Yosemite and the Presidio of San Francisco were black soldiers of the U.S. Army, decades before black Americans could even vote freely in most of the country. They were called Buffalo Soldiers, a nickname given to them by Native American fighters on the western frontier after the Civil War, where these regiments first made their name. By the late 1890s, two of those units, the Ninth Cavalry and the 24th Infantry, were stationed at the Presidio in San Francisco, becoming among the first black regulars ever posted to a major West Coast Army installation. Every summer, starting in 1899, these soldiers left the Presidio and rode more than 100 miles into the Sierra Nevada, into Yosemite and Sequoia National Parks. At the time, there was no park ranger service. No agency existed to protect these lands at all. The job fell to the U.S. Army, and for several summers in a row, that meant Buffalo Soldiers. Their work was not ceremonial. They patrolled thousands of square miles on horseback, chasing off poachers, arresting men running cattle and sheep illegally through fragile meadows, and fighting wildfires with nothing but hand tools and manpower. They built the first usable trail to the summit of Mount Whitney, the tallest peak in the continental United States, a trail hikers still use today. They constructed the park's first arboretum, a living collection meant to help visitors understand the land they were now tasked with saving. They did all of this without the title of ranger, because the title didn't exist yet. They also did it while wearing the uniform of a country that, in most of the South and much of the North, still denied them basic civil rights. One officer stands out from this story. Captain Charles Young, a graduate of West Point and one of the very first black officers to command troops in the U.S. Army, led soldiers into Sequoia National Park in 1903. That summer, he served as the park's acting superintendent, making him the first black superintendent of any national park in American history, more than a decade before the National Park Service itself was founded. When that agency was finally created in 1916, it borrowed more than just the idea of federal land protection. The ranger uniform, right down to the broad-brimmed campaign hat still worn by rangers today, was modeled directly on the U.S. cavalry uniform the Buffalo Soldiers wore on those Sierra Nevada patrols. 250 years of American history is full of stories like this one. Subscribe to You Gotta Know for the histories nobody taught you.